What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, the average Rhodesian camo enjoyer that your mom said that we have at home. Today we're going to be discussing handgun choice and kind of my thoughts that I've been developing over time with this channel and kind of throughout my life on. I've gone back and forth between certain opinions on different types of handguns, and we're going to talk about it today and give you kind of what my ultimate thoughts are on the topic of handgun selection. We are going to be talking about a Glock 19 Gen 5, Beretta M9A4, a Staccato 2011 C2 that you saw in the opener, okay? Before we get too far into it, guys, I hope you've been eating your protein. Most of you, if you're out there and you're trying to build muscle, you need to be eating 35 to 40 grams of protein 4 different times a day, okay? 4 different meals. So with that, the emoji for the video is going to be steak. Leave a steak down in the comments for all you guys that are trying to bulk up. And even if you're not trying to bulk up, even if you're trying to cut and get lean, you still need to eat your 35 to 40 grams based on your body weight of protein 4 times a day, okay? So if you didn't know that, now you know. Keep eating your protein. It's good to eat, guys. Just be eating the right foods. Make sure you're getting your protein in, and leave a steak down below in the comment section so that way we can all get jacked. Or if you're trying to get cut down, that's fine. Just make sure you're eating your protein. Okay, so as you saw in the opener, we're out on the range again. This is going to be 2,500 rounds with the Staccato. I guess I'll show you guys real quick. This gun is amber. That means empty chamber, loaded magazine, weapon on safe, okay? We were shooting primarily the Staccato, okay? Here's a Glock 19 Gen 5, both of them just running irons on both of them, metal iron sights, okay? Trigicon HD or whatever on the Glock, and the Staccato just with the fiber optic sight that comes with it. Okay, so I bought a Staccato and we've been shooting it, and I've been carrying it for about the last 5 to 6 weeks. And what can I tell you about the Staccato? Okay, it is a Staccato C2, the aluminum 16+1 magazine. Here's one right here. Okay, 16+1 magazine. Standard. The Glock obviously is 15+1, no big deal. And then you can get the 20s or the 26s. I got 6 magazines for the Staccato just to be able to get it hot and keep running it on the range. We've had no malfunctions at all, no bobbles, no nothing. Okay, so that's one awesome thing about the Staccato C2 right off the bat. Reliability has been perfect. I've only cleaned it once, and that was like after the first burn down video you saw on the channel. I think I titled it 900 round torture test. I cleaned it after that one. Today we went out there, we shot like, I don't even know, at least 1,100 or so rounds. I got some of it on camera. My phone overheated a couple times, okay, while trying to record. So you got what you got, you don't throw a fit, okay? So with that being said, the Staccato has been 100% reliable, which is cool, okay, because it is a 2011, and a lot of people will say, oh, well, 2011s aren't reliable, and they have malfunctions, and they have weird things with capacity. Well, these 20 rounders have been running great. I got 3 of the 20 rounders. They've been running great, and no issues with capacity on that side of the thing. Yes, you can get extendos for your Glock pistol, right? But we're not just comparing the 2011 to the Glock. We're comparing all handguns, okay? So on the channel, we have shot now the Glock 19s, Glock 19Xs, 26, 43X, 43, Shadow Systems, MR920, Shadow Systems DR920L. Before the channel began, I had a bunch of revolvers like the Smith & Wesson 686 plus the Kimber K6S, a bunch of handguns I've tried out on the channel, and before the channel even existed. Did I say Beretta M9A4? Beretta M9A4, okay. SIG P320 and SIG M17 at work, okay. So this is what I can tell you with all the weapons I just named off, which was a bunch, and we'll exclude the revolvers for now, okay, because I don't feel like it's a fair shake. But ultimately, it really doesn't matter, and I'll say this: as long as your handgun is 100% reliable and you can hit it what you're aiming at within 25 meters every time, as long as you're doing the right thing, you're doing your part, and the gun is reliable, and you're accurate and effective with that handgun, and you have a holster system that is actually safe. I am rocking a, what is it? The Ragnarok, I believe, right? The Ragnarok from T-Rex Arms on this Ronin belt. But what I'm saying is, if you can run your, what's your M17 or your SIG P320 or your stock Glock, okay, this weapon is empty, I don't think you should be too focused on handgun selection. I do feel like there is diminishing returns. I feel like you can buy something super, a little bit more expensive like this Staccato C2, but I feel like it really doesn't matter. And if I could go back in time, for those of you that are new into the gun, I guess, collecting or training or whatever you are doing, or you just want it for home protection, home defense, or if you're here for the boog and the end of the world, if I could go back in time, I probably would have just bought, I don't even know, maybe 4 or 5 just Glock 19s, never bought anything else, and just, I would have had excess, I could have burned them down, maybe not even that, maybe just 4, that gives 1 for me, 1 for my wife, and then 2 extra, maybe 1 to train with or whatever, but I would have stuck with 1 weapon, because I don't think your handgun really matters as long as it meets the criteria I listed before. As long as it's goes bang, 99.9% of the time you pull the trigger. I have had 1 malfunction with this weapon with hollow points. That's why I don't like carrying hollow points that I haven't extensively tested on the channel, okay? So, yeah, guys, I think a lot of y'all get, I will make this weapon amber. I think a lot of y'all get wrapped around the fact that, oh, handguns are cool because we carry it, it's the only thing we can really carry every day, and we carry it on our gun belt a lot, and we have fun on the flat range. But I think what really matters is rifles and shotguns. I do have a Remington 870 out here just for appearances, just for kind of the vibe, but I don't think handguns really matter as long as you can safely holster and unholster quickly and accurately engage quickly if your life depended on it as a last ditch effort. That really is what your handgun is going to be for, is kind of a last ditch attempt to save yourself or your buddies, okay, if your primary weapon system were to go down, okay? And that I believe that is the reality of the situation. Now, if you're law enforcement and you have the ability to pick your weapon, I would honestly just get a Glock 19X or something like it, something very similar to a Glock 19X, maybe just a standard Glock 19, and run with it. And this includes the Smith & Wessons as well. But all the handguns I've listed today, they've all, when I train and carry them for a few months, I get just as good with my Staccatos as I get with my Glocks. I get just as good with my Glocks as I did with the SIG P320. And I shot the SIG P320 compact awesome. And I competed a little bit in the Army and off work with the M17, and the M17s have been awesome too, right? As long as you train and get a lot of reps in with whatever handgun you decide, I really don't think it matters. As long as it's reliable and you are good with the handgun, I don't think it matters. I think you need to spend more time, obviously this is a shotgun, okay? More time training with your long gun. I don't think it ultimately matters in the grand scheme of things, as long as it's reliable and you can effectively use your handgun, okay? So if you're watching this and you're like, I can't decide between, is a Staccato worth it, or is an M9A4 worth it? I would say, if I could go back in time, I would only own one type of weapon. It would probably be a Glock. It would probably be a 19, probably be a Gen 5, and they probably all just have either Trijicon HD sights on them, or I have been running the Holosun 507 series and the Holosun EPS on some of my Glocks, and those are great too. Red dots are great too. But what I'm saying is I would just have picked one type and stuck with it and focused more on shotguns and rifles, because I believe shotguns and rifles, this chamber is empty, guys. Shotgun, obviously always remember the rules of weapon safety. If you don't know that, you need to start there. But shotguns and rifles are where the fight actually is going to take place most of the time. Handguns are very much a compromise, okay? They're not the best. Yes, they work if you hit people in the vital areas. They're off buttons, but at the end of the day, stop getting so wrapped up with handguns and start focusing on things that matter. Make sure you're proficient and trained with your handgun, okay? But start focusing a lot more on shotguns and rifles, particularly carbines, whether it be a 16-inch or 14.5, whatever the legality is in your state and local laws. Get a good carbine, and if you can't get a good carbine, get a good shotgun and get some training with it. obviously practice transitioning from the long gun to the handgun. That's always going to be key. But at the end of the day, guys, what's really going to matter is your ability to implement the weapon system. Okay, you should be able to pick up any striker-fired handgun and go to work. You should be able to pick up any modern handgun. You should be somewhat familiar, you know, with the 2011 as well, and be able to implement that weapon. So, in summary, if you've gotten this far, don't forget to leave the steak emoji down below and make sure you're actually eating your protein. Okay, 3 to 4 times a day. 35 grams to 40 grams of protein per meal. Make sure you're actually doing that if you're trying to gain muscle and get stronger. Even if you're cutting, guys, you still got to work out and get your protein in. That way your body knows to get rid of the fats and hold the muscle, okay? Don't know why I'm going down on a tangent on that today, but just things I'm thinking about. Leave your steak emoji down below. Let me know your thoughts on handgun selection. Let me know if you've had any good luck with the staccatos as well. I've been having a great time with it. But in summary, guys, handguns really don't matter as long as they're reliable and you can use them effectively. 9mm is what I recommend, but I believe the important thing is going to come down to training with your long guns and just having a good thing to transition to, that being your handgun, and a last-ditch effort. Thanks for being here, guys. The sponsor of the video is going to be Palmetto State Armory. If you need bulk ammo or reliable weapons, okay, check out Palmetto State Armory. They have a good retro line, the H&R 723s or the M16A2s or the M16A1s. All those are sweet. H&R is remaking them. If you want to support the channel, use the link down below. Get over there and check out PSA. They've been a great supporter of the channel. They're awesome and they're super based. Lastly, guys, the Patreon. If you've gotten this far, that means you are probably at the top 1% of my channel. And if you're not a member of the Patreon, all it is $5 a month. It gets you access to the Discord server to find buddies to train with and to game with behind the scenes, okay? That's where you're going to see a lot of like the training link up and a lot of guys that are finding people in your local area to actually go out and train and shoot with, okay? It's good. It's a good time. If you've gotten this far, highly recommend you check out the Patreon. It's only $5 a month and it keeps us in business. Okay, guys, till next time, this is going to be Trench Grenade, your average Rhodesia camo enjoyer that your mom said that we have at home, signing out. Cheers.